Hey everybody, I am Brady Briggs. Welcome to another episode of the Combat Logic. Today we're going to talk about PFL 3 and Bellator 280, both of which went down on Friday. I'm going to start with Bellator because that happened earlier on in the day, as it was in Paris, France. There's only a couple fights really I want to talk about on each of these cards. But Lorenz Larkin knocked out Kyle Stewart toward the end of the first round. And Kyle Stewart, is a UFC veteran, as is Lorenz Larkin. This fight was up at 185 pounds, but it's the first finish Larkin has secured since leaving the UFC. So he left the UFC on a 2-fight win streak, wins over the likes of Jorge Masvidal and Neil Magny, who he knocked out viciously. Then he came to Bellator, got an immediate title shot, lost to Douglas Lima, then champion. And then he was viciously knocked out by Paul Daly. Okay. Since then, he's won his last 6 straight, but he was on a 5-fight decision streak coming into this fight. And yeah, up at 185 pounds, he gets a first-round knockout. He looked incredible, man. He was on fucking point. He's now 24-7 as a pro. And at 35 years old, man, Kyle Stewart isn't the best fighter he's fought, but that was a really good performance. I was super happy to see that. Can't wait to see what's next for him at 70 or 85. Yoel Romero. Man, Yoel Romero looked really, really good on Friday. Alex Polizzi, no, he's not someone most of us know, but I think we can all come to respect him after watching this fight. Like, he seriously took Yoel Romero's best shots for 3 rounds and didn't get stopped until the very last second of the 3rd round. Honestly, that fight probably could have went to a decision because Yoel hit him twice really fucking hard and hurt him badly at the very, very end of the fight. Actually, he hit him, dropped him, and then hit him hard, really hard twice as he was getting up, and hurt him badly. And he was on wobbly legs at the end of the fight, so the ref called it. He was still conscious, though, so it could have went the distance. I'm super glad it didn't, though. You want to know why? Because it wouldn't be a vintage Yoel Romero performance without a 3rd-round knockout. Okay, let's look at this guy's resume, shall we? So out of his last 9 wins, 7 of them are 3rd-round knockouts. Okay, not just knockouts, but 3rd-round knockouts. It's kind of remarkable how he continuously does this. And he came into this fight 1-5 in his last 6. Okay, but a lot of those fights, a lot of people thought he won. Like the first Whitaker fight, I think he lost 48-47. The second Whitaker fight, I thought he won 48-46 or even 48-45. He beat the fuck out of Whitaker in those last 2 rounds of that second fight, but he missed weight. So, and that was a championship fight. So I feel like the judges wanted to end the night with someone being crowned champion. So Whitaker got the split decision. Paulo Costa, that fight could have gone either way. It was so close. They both hurt each other. They both looked great. Israel Adesanya, I think Israel beat him, but dude, there's a number of people that think he won that fight as well. And then he made his Bellator debut against Phil Davis, a former Bellator world champion, and lost a split decision. So he's been very, very competitive in all of these losses. And he comes back and gets his first win in over 4 years. The last time he won was when he knocked out Luke Rockhold. So yeah, his first win in 4 years, 3rd-round knockout. His last 7 of 9 wins are 3rd-round knockouts, and he's got 8 total. That's pretty awesome. And then Ryan Bader versus Czech Congo. This was a pretty boring fight, I'll be honest. If you didn't see it, you didn't really miss much. Bader mauled him for 5 rounds, did just enough to maul him for 5 rounds. If you didn't see this fight, but you want to know and see how it went, honestly, just go back and watch their first fight. Their first fight ended like 3 minutes and some change into the first round, and it was ended being no contest because Ryan Bader poked Czech Congo in the eye. If you want to know how this fight went, just go and watch that fight. It's the exact same as that fight, just 4 more rounds of it. And then we move on to PFL 3. Larissa Prochenko looked incredible. She got a first-round knockout pretty early. She's the only person to really test Kayla Harrison. She still lost to her handily twice. But until the main event where Kayla Harrison beat Marina Maknakina, Larissa was the only opponent she couldn't finish. Rory MacDonald looked incredible on Friday. He looked like he might be the best welterweight in the world again, but he fought Brett Cooper. Now, Brett Cooper, though he's 28-15, he's a former ACB champion, okay? And he has wins over UFC veterans like Jason Von Flue, Rory Markham, Sergio Moraes, Joe Dirksen, Dan Kramer, and Kendall Grove, okay? He knocked all of them off. No, they're not the best fighters in the world, okay? But they're all UFC veterans, and he holds knockout wins over every last one of them. And Rory took him down pretty handily, and then looked incredible on top, rained down some nasty ground upon, took it back, got the rear naked choke. Rory went 0-2 last year. He went 1-2 last year. He should have went 2-1. Everyone knows he beat Gleason T-Ball. That's probably the single-handed worst decision in MMA history. But Rory starts off the year 1-0, gets 6 points with a first-round finish. Was super happy to see that. And same goes for Anthony Pettis in the next fight. He went 0-2 last year, even though he should have been 1-1 or at least 1-0-1. You know, PFL's judges could really use some work. But no, dude, Anthony Pettis, he fought Miles Price. And Price is 11-7. Normally, I don't shit on fighters because of their records, or Dalton, rather, because of their records. But I was like, no one that's 11-7 is going to beat Anthony Pettis. And he didn't. He tried for a takedown early on. Pettis ends up out scrambling him, gets on top, and his top pressure actually looked really good. It's something we're not really used to seeing out of him. If he's on the ground, we're used to seeing him on his back, and generally he submits people off his back. But he was able to out scramble him and get on top until he gets a triangle choke. He locks it up and then mounts him for the finish with a mounted triangle choke late in the first round. So that was super cool to see out of Anthony Pettis. He's had one of the bigger falls from grace in the sport's history. Super cool to see him get back on the winning track with a stunning submission like that. Carlos Leal just handily picked apart Ray Cooper and honestly beat the shit out of him. Ray came back in the third, like the end of the third, like with 1 minute left, and acted like he had some fight in him. But the first 14 minutes of that fight, he didn't. He did not look good at all. Honestly, he looked like he didn't want to be there, and he missed weight by 6 pounds coming into this fight. He's only 5'7", okay, at 170 pounds. Probably shouldn't have problems cutting to welterweight. That leads me to believe he may have came into this fight with an injury, and that could be why. He's a 2-time PFL champion. He lost the first fight of the 2022 season. I was upset to see that because I really love Ray Cooper III. He's fucking awesome. Like, dude, he absolutely mauled Rory MacDonald last year. I didn't expect that at all. And then after getting beat up by Magomed Karamov last year to claim the PFL championship, he got beat up the first 2 rounds of that fight and ended up knocking him out in the third. So I was like, there's still a chance. And especially at the end of the fight, there's still a chance. But no, Carlos Leal absolutely put it on him the whole fight. And I think we got a new contender in Carlos Leal, man. That dude's for real. I've never seen him fight before, but he's really good. Another thing that could be said about it is Leal has already gone 2-0 this year in the PFL Challenger Series events, and before the regular season started. And Ray Cooper hasn't fought since claiming the title, which was in October or November. So that could have something to do with it as well. And then Kayla Harrison absolutely dominated Marina Maknakina quite handily. There's really not much that stands out about this fight. Other than she won. She's now 13-0. All right, that about wraps up PFL 3 and Bellator 280. I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you. Have a good one.